to think first about global warming. Global warming is a global issue, as the name connotes, and if we make energy, fossil energy, more expensive here in the US, it isn't going to reduce concentrations of GHGs in the atmosphere, because the growth in emissions is coming, as you know, in the developing countries of China, Latin America, Indonesia, places like that. So our emissions are actually expected to be flat out through 2035, according to the Department of Energy's Energy Information Administration. You have to think about what making fossil fuels more expensive means for people's income. You know, if, as I said, each percentage increase in GDP is accompanied by a 0.2% increase in energy use. The Department of Energy projects that by 2035, fossil fuels are still going to be 75 or 80% of our fuel supply. So I think fossil fuels are probably here to stay, and renewables will grow, but slowly. Renewable energy, for example, offshore wind, as DOE published data last year that shows that it's about $270 levelized capital cost per kilowatt hour versus $62 for a natural gas plant, for example, to produce electricity. So renewable energy is certainly going to be part of our portfolio, but in many cases it's so much more expensive that it will, you know, if it were, for example, if the country passed a clean energy standard, the Bingaman bill, for example, electricity prices will certainly rise. Higher electricity prices mean businesses can't grow as fast. Consumers have to spend more on electricity versus food, medicine, travel, trips to Las Vegas, etc. So you have to think about the overall macro consequences of making fossil energy more expensive. The switch to natural gas is now generating, I think, 35% or so of US electricity. Coal's share is falling, so that is helping reduce our growth in emissions, which, as I said, are expected to be flat for the next 20 years. So all of those are important issues that you raise, but when you put everything in context, it seems to me you know, we need to think about U.S. economic growth, which has been so very slow. We need to think about, you know, the 7.8% unemployment rate, the fact that college graduates are having a very tough time finding work in their fields. We need to focus on growing the economy while trying to reduce emissions, which we are.